Now, we often forget just how privileged we actually are to have access to clean running water, hand wash, hand sanitizer, soap even, to keep us healthy and safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. But there are thousands, I think far more than we actually know, of South Africans living on the street who have no access to any of these amenities and might not even know what's happening in the world at the moment. Our call centre agent, and I'm going to say straight out, Angel Nokubonga Blom, is here to tell us about her story and how she is doing her part to curb the spread of the coronavirus, to flatten the curve, if you will, because information has become one of the most prime commodities at the moment. Noku, thank you so much for joining us. There is so much fear for me. I feel it so intensely when we work in the homeless space, not only what's to come and what we're going to have to do over the next weeks as we enter into 21 days of lockdown, but just the idea that there is a section of our population that don't even know what's going on. How did you get to that point? Because you work in that space. What was your journey to get to this point to prompt you to action?
Okay, so I'm part of an organization called Homeless Voices, and we've been working with the homeless people. I'm in Cape Town for about 5 years now. So we visit them regularly, I know, every Saturday. So we've had a relationship with them. We know their lifestyle, we know how they live, we know their struggles. So when this pandemic shocked all of us, it was more of, we're so privileged to have sanitizers, as you said, and running water and everything else and all the information. So it was up to us to go out to them, reach out to them and inform them on what's happening and how they can also be helped, just like we need help.
Where does that help begin? Let's start with something as simple as washing your hands. If you don't have access to running water or sanitizer, so what advice or how have you kind of educated them in that, just with that first step?
Okay, we've actually told them what's been happening in the world and what the pandemic is about and how it can affect every single person, and also how you can prevent it. But also, we need to clear the streets of Cape Town, take people into shelters and homes for their safety. But that's also going to be very hard because they're not used to rules. They're not used to being told what to do. They're not used to be under a shelter. They have free will on the streets, so that's very hard.
In my experience working, I was telling you earlier, working with especially young boys to try and get them off, the conversion rate is very low because that's the one and only thing that they have is that choice to live in that way. And there are a myriad of socio-economic reasons why they get to that place. Mm-hmm. But I don't think people realize, they think, okay, well, just you'd go into a shelter, someone's offering you a shelter, but it's not as easy as that. Just how difficult is it going to be for those working in essential services so we can empathize and spare a thought for them, but also help them? How difficult do you think it's going to be to get people off the streets?
It's going to be extremely hard, but it's doable. It's going to be extremely hard, mainly being told what to do, and also having curfews telling them stay inside because they're used to walking around the streets, sleeping on the streets, eating what they like, taking alcohol, taking drugs. So now they're going to be told to stay inside, sleep on. Firstly, they don't even know how to sleep on beds because most of them have been on the street for many years.
Some generations. I've met a third generation of people who have grown up living on the streets and they had a 6-month-old baby that was moving into that.
So now they need to unlearn all of that and learn new habits only in a space of basically a few hours.
I know you took it even a step further, getting hands-on and practical by actually donating soaps yourself. Talk me through that. Yeah,
so I cut up sunlight bars because they don't have access to sanitizers, and actually the prices have gone up in shops for all soaps. So
$200 for a sanitizer yesterday.
Okay, so we cut up soap and gave it to them, taught them how to wash their hands, and they should do it regularly, and also to wash their bodies when they can, because most of them do car washing. So they do have access to waters, and also people that live around them do offer them water. So that's how we found out that they actually do. Some of them, most of them have water. So yeah, we gave them soap, and also Sunlight donated boxes of soap to us, so we still have more. So, and we're also going to continue today to give out soap to homeless people.
Understanding the psychology of what's going on there, I think, is vitally important. What would your advice be, and what do you think that government needs to do for the homeless people during this trying time? What does your heart say?
We should have more people going out because we only have a few hours to get everyone inside into a shelter.
You need an army of people.
You need an army of people to go out, clear the streets, get people into shelters, educate them, make sure that they understand why they're in the shelter, and it's for their own safety and everyone else. And we're not just getting them into the shelter for them to be safe, it's also for us to be safe, because if you are hygienic, I'm also hygienic. So yeah, and also government should supply soaps and everything else that's going to assist people to be clean while in the homes.
And who knows, maybe there is a silver lining within this, that we can find a deeper connection to the disenfranchised, to people that have been cut off for so long. I just have a feeling that this is going to be one of the greatest tests of our humanity, not just for those working in those critical spaces, but I think for all of us. This whole COVID-19 pandemic has taught us how to first think of others before we think of ourselves. And that's, I think, an adage that by which you live your life.
Yeah. Also health issues. Health facilities are very vital at this point. And they need to have regular checkups, because now they're going to be in clustered spaces. They already have so many diseases on the streets. Some people even pass away on the streets. So they need to be checked before they put into the shelters, so that some of them might even have the virus already. So we need to also provide those health facilities for them.
Noko, thank you so much for everything that you're doing and continue to do, and stay safe during this crazy time. I think the important take home for me right now is that nobody gets left behind. You can ponder that and what you can do for others, for your community, maybe even just for your neighbor, that person, that homeless person that you've seen on the street. You can think about that as we take a quick break. We'll see you in a moment.